She picked me up from my house and the date started off great, so I thought. We were in the car talking and vibing and she got a phone call and told me not to say anything. She answers the phone and it's her girlfriend. Now I'm sitting there quiet, unknowingly now the side chick. I should have just asked her to take me home, but I met this stud when I was a waitress at a restaurant and she was a cook in the kitchen. She wasn't that cute, but she was funny. Think Slim Jim, stick, but with locks. Anyway, we would flirt every time we were scheduled together. She asked me on a date to our state fair and I accepted. She picked me up from my house and the date started off great, so I thought. We were in the car talking and vibing and she got a phone call and told me not to say anything. She answers the phone and it's her girlfriend. Now I'm sitting there quiet, unknowingly now the side chick. I should have just asked her to take me home, but I really wanted the turkey leg and the funnel cake. The rest of the night I tried to make do and then so you kept going with this night? I guess that's none of your business. The rest of the night I tried to make do and she got another call and said we had to leave because one of her friends was stranded on the side of the road. I asked if she was taking me home first and she said she wouldn't have time, but it would be quick. Uber yourself home. Uber, cab, public transit, whatever you have to do to get home. You're not going on this road trip to get a friend stranded on the side of the road that you also don't know. Go home. I asked if she was taking me home first and she said she wouldn't have time, but it would be quick. It was not quick. The friend was an hour away from where I lived. We pick up the friend and they're now in the car blasting music and passing around a blunt. I don't smoke. So now I'm annoyed and just ready to go home. We never made it back to my house that night. Now look at you. You're stranded. In the midst of all their illegal activities, she hit a deer in the road and totaled her car. You were in this car? Her parents ended up coming to pick us up and told me they weren't driving me back home. What kind of parents are these? What kind of people are these? You just got into a car accident with a deer and they're saying they're not driving you home. Her parents. Nobody likes you, by the way. Her parents ended up picking us up and told me that they weren't driving me back to my home that night and I had to sleep at their house. A few weeks later, she apologized. A few weeks later, she apologized for how the night turned out and asked to make it up to me. I don't know why I accepted the second date, but I did. I don't know why either. You almost died in a car crash and no one wanted to bring you home and you said, this calls for a second date. I need to see this person again. We were supposed to be going go-karting, so I'm dressed comfortably. She picks me up from my house in her parents' car and tells me to change of plans, but we're now going to a party. I should have gone out with the car, but I didn't. We drive for about 30 minutes to get to a little rundown house in a sketchy neighborhood. When we get inside, it's all of 5 people in there and someone's grandma. She then proceeds to tell me it's her ex-fiance's birthday and they want to just kick it. What exactly is your role here? You're on a date with someone who currently has a girlfriend and now you're at another house of her ex-fiance just kicking it. Why are you even part of this equation? She doesn't like you. Annoyed, I start texting my group chat trying to find someone to come get me. She tells me to sit on the couch and it will be back. And you did, didn't you? You just sat there. just listening to instructions from a stud. Why? She tells me to sit on the couch and they would be back. Everyone, even the granny, got up and went to this back room. A few moments later, everyone comes out the back room rubbing their nose and sniffling. She tells me she's ready to go, but she's too high to drive. I ended up having to drive her parents' car back to my house while she was passed out in the front seat. When I got home, I went inside, locked my doors, and left her sleeping in the car outside. I blocked her and quit that job afterwards. So you meet this stud at work, you guys flirt all the time, cool. You're on this first date with her, driving the car, talking, and her active girlfriend calls her. Active, current. And you go, oh, that's strange, but I want a turkey leg and a funnel cake, so let's continue this date. And that one decision right there ends up with you finishing the night at her house after hitting a deer. Then you say weeks later, she apologizes for this incident. Not even the same day. Weeks later, and asks to make it up to you, and you say, yeah, that's cool. Then apparently the plan was to go go-karting, but that plan changes now, and now you end up at a coke house with someone's granny, and you have to drive yourself home. So let me get this straight. Essentially, the first date with her, you agreed to be a crash dummy, and then the second date, you agreed to be a cokehead driver. I don't understand where any of this benefited you.
You don't say what? That's insane, bro. What kind of story is this? So she had a crush on her coworker and she got asked out on a date and the coworker's girlfriend calls. Like that's crazy. First of all, like, what is this, man? Like, you already know now she's cuffed. Why are you even on a date with her? Like, once you know that, get out. No, but you stuck around and you found out. I mean, the red flags were there, right? That should be the initial point. The other part was like, she took you on a ride and she was drunk or whatever it was, high, whatever, and they hit a deer, got in an accident. Meanwhile, you wanted to go home all along. Anyways, a long story short, she apologized and all. You still accepted it? Like, I mean, you could have accepted the apology, but like, be like, we no friends no more, but I accept your apology. I'll see you when I see you. Hopefully not at work. But you stuck around with her, and then you found out too. You let her apologize, and she took you to whatever house it was, and they all went to snort some drugs. And she passed out, she couldn't drive, and she literally just wanted you to come there and be her Uber driver. That's it. She's using you as an Uber driver, bro. Like, this is ridiculous. Matter of fact, you stayed for too long. But I'm glad you learned your lesson, and you definitely should have left her sleeping in the car like how you did. And yeah, block her everywhere, quit that job, move on with your life, because this woman was toxic as hell. And she was just using you as an Uber driver.
So my best guy friend went on a bunch of dates with this girl, like maybe 4 or 5 dates, like really cute dates. He planned them. They were very elaborate. And then for their whatever 5th date, she said, let me plan it. So it was really cute. She was going to do like dinner and laser tag. It sounded really fun. But then just as he's heading out the door for the date, he gets a text being like, wait, don't come. My mom's in the hospital. I've got to go there. So he obviously was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Like, take your time. Let me know if there's anything you can do. He sent flowers to her house. So then a couple days later, he gets a photo from her of the flowers, and she said, oh, my roommate just said these arrived. They're beautiful. Like, thank you so much. That's super kind of you. He responded being like, yeah, no problem. I hope everything's well. Like, let me know if you're down to meet up at some point. Obviously, no rush. Yeah, hope things are good. Doesn't respond. So then he waits a couple more days, and they were talking like every day. So he was like, hey, just want to check in. Like, I hope everything's going okay. I'm really sorry to hear about your mom, like thinking of you kind of thing. And then didn't hear from her again. So a couple of days later, we checked her Instagram. So she wasn't posting anything on Instagram, but she does have her ViscoCam link in her Instagram bio. She was at Coachella the entire time. Like, maybe there's a world where something happened and then she went to Coachella, but like the timing isn't right. Like, she literally was at Coachella the entire time, which like we obviously will never know the extent of how far that lie went. But imagine if she was fully lying, how bad she must have felt when those flowers arrived at her door. Like, oh, so bad. So I guess it's rough on both sides.
You know what I would have done if I was that man and I found out that she did this to me? I would ask for those flowers back, because she don't deserve them. I'd rather throw them in the trash bin than give it to her, bro. I'd be like, you know what, give me those flowers back. Because that's not right, bro. How can you use a deep excuse like that, pretend your mom is sick and all that? Meanwhile, you just wanted to go to Coachella. Yo, right? That's ridiculous, bro. Like, you didn't have even the audacity to let him know. Like, you could have told him. I'm sure you would have been cool with it. If you had told him ahead of time that you won't be able to hang out because you go Coachella, you booked ahead of time, and you don't want to bail out on that, I'm sure he would have understood. But damn, you got your ass caught.
This guy I'm talking to asked me to come over. It's 8:30 p.m. on a Sunday night. There's food delivery on the way and Netflix on the TV. Sir, are you serious? Do you think I'm gonna leave my bed? I'm gonna enjoy my rent.
Hi, I'm in a shitty mood because I'm a 30-year-old trying to date and it's just painful. Did you eat something? Fucker. I'm feeling rather annoyed right now, and whenever I feel annoyed, I feel like I need to pop off on something, and that something is usually TikTok. So I feel like when it comes to dating, I've been very chill and calm when it comes to my old like set of standards that I held for myself. I'm like, okay, I need like, what the fuck? I need like really high standards. Like, I have high standards, and I do, but I feel like with dating, like I've kind of like realized to calm down a little bit in certain areas where I've been so high and mighty and tight with like certain things that you need to have. And I like been relaxed on that, and I'm still just like not seeing or like feeling how I feel like I'm supposed to be feeling. And it's just like kind of upsetting, because I'm like, okay, not that I'm lowering my standards, I just feel like I'm like opening up a little bit more and like growing up, realizing that maybe certain things that I used to think were like negatives are actually positives, and I don't know how to navigate it. I'm in this weird limbo of like trying to grow, trying to learn, and you know when you make excuses for someone in your head and then you kind of calm yourself down, and then you're like, do I need to be making those excuses? I'm just feeling defeated, because it's really hard to like start over time and time again and again, you know, and open yourself emotionally up to dating. I don't know.
A lot of women nowadays, they got standards which are off the roof, and these standards are outrageous. Like, well, what do they say? The dude gotta be 6'5" while the girl is 4'9". He gotta make over 6 figures a month. He gotta have all his shit in place. He gotta give her the princess treatment. You know, he gotta wake her up in bed with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're like, you know, god damn, and it's so forth, right? It goes on. And it's no surprise a lot of these women find themselves single because, like, yo, if you're single, chances are it can't be the man's problem. It's your problem. You know what I mean? It has to be something you're doing. And most of the cases, it's your standards, right? Nobody's going to be able to match that standards. And especially how they consider every little thing an ick. A guy breathes ick. Guy comes with different color shoes, ick. You know what I mean? He's already crossed out. So this generation for dating is cooked. And I mean, damn, it took her till 30 years old to realize she gotta relax and actually think reasonably about her standards, eh?
I always went for older guys. Like, that was always my thing. I'm always like, okay, like, guys my age are just too immature for me, and I liked older guys. So I started talking to this other guy after my first relationship that was like, you know how that was. So I was too afraid to kind of like get serious with him because I was afraid of like what happened in the past. So I told him all about the things that happened in the past. And he like would reassure me, don't worry, I would never do something like that. You're such a good girl, like da-da-da-da-da, I'm such a good guy. Okay. So whatever, fast forward. That was like October that we started talking. And then New Year's Eve, he invited me to a party and he went to a different school. So I didn't know anybody at all. So I went there, I'm like, all right, screw it. Like, this should be fun. So I went to the party and we had a great time. At the time, my parents still had a curfew for me. They're like, yeah, no, you gotta be home at 11. And I'm like, ma'am, the ball is gonna drop at 12. I can't leave before the ball drops. So they're like, okay, 12:30. And I'm like, please one. And they're like, no. So ball dropped. We had a great time. We were at the party with each other the whole time. Like, we didn't leave each other's side. We were with each other the whole time. Everybody knew that we were together, dating or not. So at one point, he brings me to a separate room and he's like confessing his love to me. Like, I really, really love you. I really want to be with you. Da-da-da-da-da the whole night. And I'm like, okay, great. Let's this. So my parents pick me up. He walks into my car, says hello to my parents, drops me off, texts me when you get home. I had this gut feeling this man was going to do some dumb shit. Like, I knew it in my soul. I told him what happened to me the New Year's prior, which was really, really bad with a relationship. There was like a whole blowout. That's like another story for another time. But I told him what happened. I was like, I really don't want you to ruin my New Year's Eve this year. And he was like, I would never do that. Sure enough, bitch, he did. So I wake up the next morning to like a shit ton of texts from him, calls, texts, blowing me up from like 1:30 to like 4 a.m. So again, that's an hour after I left, bitch. Only 1 hour it took for this man to fuck everything up, okay? So an hour after he tells me that he loves me and I'm the best thing in the world, then he's fucking up. Of course. So he's texting me all this shit I'm reading through and he's like, oh, people are talking shit, people make up rumors, people suck, I don't know why people are talking about me, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, let's pause. What did you do? And he was like, no, I didn't do anything. I was in the bathroom and there was a bathroom at the house that didn't have a lock and it was like a sliding door and you just like kind of put your finger in. I don't even think there was a doorknob. You just kind of open, close it and that was it. It was like a hole. And I think that had a sock in it. I don't know. Regardless, he chose that bathroom. He went to go pee. Apparently a girl walked in when he was in the bathroom. They walked out at the same time and everyone's like, oh my God, you guys made out. And he's like, I swear I didn't do anything. I'm like, do you think I'm fucking stupid? Asshole's not on my forehead. So tell me what the fuck happened or I'm going to find out. And I'm never going to talk to you again. So I'll either find out the information by myself or you tell me. So it took a little bit of time to like pull it out of him. But of course, only an hour after I left, this man went into the bathroom with another girl who saw me with him all night. Not that she owed me anything, but like still, bitch, really? Like, oh, come on. And like hooked up with him in the bathroom. And then he tried to lie to me and tell me like, oh yeah, people are making things up about me. Like, at least I was smart enough to like investigate, okay? But I was still stupid enough to stay, which I did. And I stayed with him, I think, for about like a few months after that. I think we stayed together for like maybe a total of like 6-7 months. And then I just broke up with him. But he was like fun. Like he was kind of like a bestie girl. He had a car. He was older. Like we would go out to lunch. We would go to movies. We would just kind of go everywhere. And we always had a lot of fun. Went to parties and stuff. So I didn't really care. And then one day I just like kind of broke up with him. I don't remember why I did, but I was a little young. I didn't really learn from experiences too quick. But yeah.
Excuse me. Listen, I have a question. I think you're beautiful.
Thank you.
What's your name?
I'm sorry, now it's just not that time.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Have a good one. You have a beautiful smile.
Hey yo, this bitch. Oh my goodness, the audacity. Like, he's not even talking to you. Why you gotta make these noises? My man's went to your friend because your friend's attractive. Not gonna lie. Like, how you gonna be over here? Yo, these actually comments be funny. Somebody's like, the fridge is trying to hide the snack. Damn, bro, that's crazy. Like, I don't understand the point of this. Why did she need to make this noise, bro? She must be jealous. Nobody's probably approaching her. Nobody's coming up to her. Yeah, that's what it is.
Excuse me. You look absolutely beautiful. What's your name?
She doesn't speak English, but I can translate her.
Alright, look.
Okay.
Tell me, I can tell her.
Okay. Él dice que estás muy linda, estás bellísima.
No, tell me so I can tell her. What language?
She speaks Spanish.
Okay, so how do I say you're very beautiful?
Estás linda.
Talinga.
You want her number?
Yeah, but how do I say she has a nice smile?
Oh, que tienes linda sonrisa.
No, I have to say it.
Okay.
Come on.
Se dice, qué linda sonrisa.
Que linda sonrisa.
Yes.
How do you say what's your name?
¿Cuál es tu nombre?
¿Cuál es tu nombre?
Evelyn.
Nice to meet you, I'm Daniel.
Dice nice to meet you. Mucho gusto en his day.
Now,
You want her number?
I do. Now I was gonna ask her, but I gotta lead up to it, you know? Okay, now how do I ask her for a number?
Dame tu número.
Dame tu número.
Tu número.
Tu nombre.
Okay. Get the phone. Where's the phone?
Right here. She has WhatsApp or a number.
And we're gonna sit here.
Where are you guys from?
Okay, I'm from Cuba and Argentina, and she's from Cuba.
Cuba. Okay. So you just moved out here, or?
No, she's in vacation right now.
Oh, okay. Here.
Wait. Okay, put it. 786.
I'm a little dyslexic, so you have to put it for me.
And a little dyslexic.
Yeah.
Okay, 786.
You guys sisters or something?
Yes, she's my sister.
Really? So why does she live over there and you here?
Okay, because I'm in Argentina. She's my I don't know too much English, but she's the
Here.
daughter of my father.
Okay.
So she's like my middle sister.
Yeah, she's adorable.
Porque tú eres adorable. Gracias.
De nada. You see, I know a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Alright. It was very nice to meet you. You ladies have a good night.
You too, sweetheart.
Bye bye.
Damn, yo, the friend was trying to wing you like that. Yo, that's a W friend right there, man. She trying to wing her homegirl, bro. Like, you know, sometimes, guys, when somebody comes and approaches your friend and you're there, the least you could do is help them out, wing them out. You know, that's a blessing for them. Like, don't you want a couple years later, maybe they end up married and then you had a part to play in it? You were the reason they got married, they have kids and all that. Like, I don't know, bro. Some people just be like so jealous and stuff like that. Like, you see those other girls, when you approach their friends, they tell their friends, oh, we gotta go. They pull their friends and they don't want their friends talking to you and all that. It's because nobody's talking to them. So they feel like they're gonna ruin the moment, you know? They pretend like, oh, we gotta go, we're lesbian, da, 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 da. It's always the other friend. It's like, why don't you just help your friend out? Especially if your friend is single, wing them out. If your friend is taken, then yeah, fair enough. That's a different ballgame. But if your friend is single, how are you gonna ruin their opportunity to meet a decent dude? You know? But anyways, yo, that's a video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about it. Yo, comment about that first story though, about that girl that went on a date with the other girl. And the other girl was just, she a little bit too much, bro, not gonna lie. But yeah, let me know about that first story. And yeah, catch you boys on the next vid. Peace.